All right, if we could start.
Chris Pino, backup vocals and bass. Pretty much what I do in the band.
Zach Weidel, battery.
Battery.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't got nothing special like that. I'm Bo and I play the guitar.
Battery.
We've been prepared
Danny
for
Pino.
that.
No. And I'm the,
I can't wait
I'm
for the next
vocals.
All right.
It'll be the same.
Now, I can't really. I'll just kind of go
That's just,
with
Chris,
whoever's.
I got a bass
I
clef
can sit
on
over
my
here if you want me to.
Well, it's this question. Okay, my favorite thing about a band is name. Story of how you got a name, where your name came from. One of my favorite stories, although it's not one of my favorite bands, is Nickelback and how they got their name. How they got their name was they couldn't come up with a name, but every time they got something, every time they get change, they always got a Nickelback in their change. So that's how they came up with their name,
That's
Nickelback.
cool. Pretty cool. I
It's
remember
an
that.
odd-
That's way cooler
Yeah,
than
then what
I was gonna say that's way cooler
Yeah.
than their music.
So my question is, where did Left Standing begin? Did it begin here in Vegas?
Yeah, began here in Vegas at a bar called the Boston.
Pretty much. It was a long time ago.
Where did Left Standing come from?
These two guys, Danny and Bo. I never understood the name until
You know,
Until
the name.
recently,
The thing
actually.
about here's the thing about the name is different. We didn't really. There was no real reason why we came up with the name. We really thought it just sounded cool, and when we originally picked it, right? But the cool thing about the name is now it like I don't know what happened, but like we grew into becoming that name.
Yeah.
13 years together, we've seen so many bands come and go. And I think now that name is so fitting for us that we really are like one of the last ones standing. We're left standing.
Yeah.
You know.
yeah, the name
Right on.
fits perfectly now.
That's cool.
Didn't get in the beginning, but now I guess we were preparing for now.
Yeah.
When will now be then?
Soon.
All right, influences. Now, I'd be willing to bet that you each all have a different influence on your music. But as a whole, Left Standing's influence now versus when you guys first started.
Ooh, it's completely different. You know, when we first started, we were really pop punky. We all came from pretty much local bands that were punk rock. Then we just, I mean, as we started evolving into Left Standing, when bands broke up and we started coming together, it seemed like everybody, you know, when you're young, all you listen to is one thing. You know, as you get older and you start listening to your dad or, you know, or friends that are older, you know, they start introducing you into different styles of music. And, you know, now it's like we've just gotten so much, you know, from Latin music, you know, salsa to country music to, you know, I'm not a big fan of heavy metal, but the guys are a big fan of heavy metal, you know. I mean, everybody's got their own different, you know, jazz, you know, reggae, a lot of things, you know, have, you know, when we were younger, we were stuck. And as we got older, we started growing, and we grew together.
Yeah, I
as a
think it's
unit.
just growing as music lovers and
Yeah.
musicians. Punk rock was what introduced us to the love of music.
Yeah.
But as we, you know, as you progress in music, you appreciate every style, and we really have done that. I mean, we go to Garth Brooks. We've been to the Gypsy Kings 5 times.
Yeah.
Wow.
5
Wow.
to the Gypsy Kings. You know, you never dream of that. Plus, we like all the new bands. Now, I just a fan of music. It's all about the melody to me. If it's a good song, it's a good song.
Right.
And
Yeah, it's not the style of music. Is if
Yeah.
it's a good song,
Yeah.
it's just a good song.
That's awesome.
You
Doesn't
know?
matter who's playing it.
Right.
Doesn't matter what band. If you don't like the band, if you hate the band and he got a good song, you can't deny the song. So
Yeah, Nickelback's got a few.
yeah, Nickelback's got a couple few cool songs.
Come on, Zach.
I got to admit to that. I'm not a big Nickelback
Here we
fan,
get
but-
into our own personal influences.
Oh, I get into that. Trust me. I'll ask that one.
Zach's more of an Iggy Pop, Kelly Clarkson guy.
Kelly Clarkson. That's great.
Definitely Iggy Pop.
Strange bird.
I think Bowie. I think more Bowie than Kelly Clarkson.
Yeah, strange bird.
awesome.
Which is even more female than Kelly Clarkson.
Oh wow. That's
Hey, ain't nothing
funny.
wrong with Kelly. She's awesome. I like her. I got her CD. I ain't lying.
Oh wow.
What did I tell
Ain't
you?
nothing wrong with Kelly.
That's funny. That's
I'm
awesome.
way different. I like a lot of things that people would never imagine I would like. I'll tell you that right now.
Not
Really?
with a neck tat.
Not with the neck
Rock,
tat.
Rocky Kelly.
I rock Kelly.
Dude, I never thought.
Oh, that's funny.
Shit, I rock Carrie Underwood too. Oh, yeah. I got no shame in my game.
There you go. Is that what you get played when you're getting the neck tat? You're like, hey man, toss us some Kelly.
Yeah. It's all cool. Put in some Clarkson.
There you go.
Like, it's-
She rocks.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Hey, okay, so I noticed a lot of your guys' songs are political or semi-political. American Anthem is one of my favorite songs. It is actually my three older daughters. It is actually their favorite song of your guys' is American Anthem. I've had tons of friends that listen to it, several of which were in the armed forces, and they love it too. They think it's an amazing song and it's a great song. What's the story behind them? What pushes you guys to do political songs where some bands might not go that route? I mean, I realize there's a few out there that do, but what pushes you guys to do?
Well, I don't think it's ever a decision to go into politics. It's what we write, what we feel. You know, we don't
Right.
decide. Oh, I'm not going to write about this or write about that. All we know is to write, you know, about the things that we really know. We don't have very good at making up stories and stuff like that. And the American Anthem song was written right after September 11th.
Right.
And maybe a month or two after, me and Danny just watching the news and watching people, you know, walking down the street picketing and saying that they didn't want war, you know, and, you know, saying all that kind of stuff, which we just completely don't understand, you know. Freedom isn't free. You got to fight for it. We fought to get it, you know.
Right.
And then we didn't pick the fight. So that's pretty much, you know, we just
Yeah.
write from personal experience.
It's all personal, and you know what? It's like there's a, you know, as you're watching the news and stuff, you see a lot of people. You know, it's like, you know what? You live here. This is America. You know, this is
Appreciate
the greatest country in the world. You know, you should appreciate it. If you don't like it, you know, we just said what we felt. You shouldn't live here no more. I mean, that's period. You know, you can't come here. You know, of course people will, but you can't come here and start just downing us. You know, and
Yeah,
it's
down in
not
the
so much of
troops,
who
can't do
you
that.
are, if you're Republican, if you're Democrat. No, man, you know, all that shit goes away. We're just proud to be Americans, and everybody live here should. The number one, it don't matter where you come from, the number one flag you should always wave above, even if you're from another country, is the American flag, period. And that's how we felt about it, very strong.
I agree. And that's, like I said, that's American Anthem is one of my favorite songs.
Thank you.
And I had a friend who was in the reserves, and they sent him to Afghanistan. And he did 4 tours of 6 months apiece in Afghanistan. And one of the times back, he actually came up here to visit me because I've known the kid. We've been friends since we were like 10 years old. And he came to visit me because he lives in Phoenix. And I said, dude, you have to hear this song. You have to. Plain and simple. You have to hear this song. And he said, what is it called? I said, it's called American Anthem. It's by a band called Left Standing. He goes, oh, I think I've heard you talk about them. Yeah, you have probably. Here, listen to the song. And he listened to it. And he said, you know what? I have to go back. I'm going back for another tour. Give me this song. So I ripped it for him, put it on a CD, and gave it to him. I said, go, man, play it. And he said, I'm going to go with my company because he was a sergeant. He said, I'm going to go back to my company. I'm going to let them guys listen to this. This is amazing. These guys, this band Left Standing is really cool. You know,
That's awesome.
the
That's
fact that they're
awesome.
willing to say,
Hell yeah.
you know, if you don't like it, get out.
Yeah.
That's the way it is. This is our
Yeah.
country. It's the greatest country in the world. You don't like it so much, go back.
Go back to where you came from.
Go wherever it is that you came from that's so much better than here and live there. I mean, if obviously it's not better, or else you wouldn't be here.
You wouldn't be here. That's exactly how we feel.
Excuse me. So, how did each of you start playing music?
Mm.
I realize that's a long way to think back, but Bo, how did you start?
With an old Brazilian lady with braided armpit hair that taught me to sing "On the Road Again."
a little far-fetched to be made up.
How could I make it up?
Right?
I know.
That's
I
crazy.
I believe you.
That's all right,
That's Danny. How about you?
Will a gypsy woman take me
Don't even do it.
Was it a
Rated
Gypsy
R
King?
Rated R for there. No, my father is a musician, and he's a phenomenal singer and flamenco guitar player. And just ever since we were little, you know, me, Chris, my little brother Jess, my little sister, he would sing to us, and he used to be in a group, and he showed me how to play the guitar. My dad was our biggest influence. That's how we even started. That's how
cool.
I even started playing music.
That's awesome. Zach, how about you?
Music was a family. It's a family tradition, and so I started playing saxophone because that's the family thing, and then I found drums, and that was it. So I started just based on family tradition.
Awesome. And Chris, I'm gonna wager that yours
Same.
is pretty much the same as Danny.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a little older. I was able to jam with my dad back in the days when he used to practice downstairs in the basement in Jersey. That's pretty much how I started playing drums in the beginning.
Oh wow.
With them keeping a beat for him.
Cool.
It wasn't the greatest, but I mean, I kept the beat for him. But then I just all through junior high school and high school, I was in choir, and I learned how to play piano, and then I taught myself how to play guitar, and then at one point, they were looking for a bass player, and so I picked up the bass and I taught myself how to play the bass. I pretty much taught myself how to play all the instruments.
All right, so what's your favorite song? What's your favorite Left Standing song to play? Which one do you have the most fun playing, you personally?
Acoustic or electric?
The one you have the most fun.
I mean,
Answer it.
electrically, I love playing Brand New Day. That's one of the tops for me.
Okay.
Electrically. Acoustically, it's this new one. It's called Time Bomb. That's like, I love that song.
Awesome.
I love playing it. It's such a great song to play.
Right. I can't wait to hear it. I can't wait for the album. Zach, how about you?
Brand New Day is a really good song.
And would you say that would be the one you have the most fun with?
Yeah.
This is
Yeah. Fire in My Veins is another really
I
good
like
one.
that one. That's off the new one, right? Whatever it takes.
Yeah.
The new electric. I love that album.
Yeah.
I listen to living room sessions and whatever it takes all day today, just because I knew I was coming here. I was like, yes. Danny, how about you?
You know what? I'm going to be very honest with you. I do not have a favorite song because every one that we play, it's like an emotional
Don't give
roller
him the
coaster
political
for me.
answer.
You know, it is. I love every song because when we sit down and write them, they're like parts and chapters of my life. So, or our life.
Right.
Me and Bo and the guys, and it's like, just when you like one so much and you sing another one and it takes you back to that moment.
Right.
I really enjoy playing them all. They all have their spot in my heart, So.
Awesome.
But if you had to pick one,
I can't
You got
do
a
that.
gun to your head.
Yeah. Shield me.
All right. How about you, Bo?
Drunk or sober?
Let's go drunk.
Right now, my favorite song is Play Soko. It's a new song that'll be on the new album. It's about drinking, and it's way funner drunk.
Right on.
But you never know. Next week could be different, but that one's fun.
All right, right on. So, what are the plans for Left Standing? What is your guys? Do you guys have an extended plan? Do you have a point at which you're trying to get to, or is it just you're enjoying where you're going right now?
We got no plan, man.
We're
We
trying to
gotta-
put music on disc.
Yeah.
That's what